Hey everyone, welcome to week 4 of the math series that we are working through. My name is Kayla Durkin. In case you are brand new here, you're listening to the Let's Talk Teaching podcast with me, of course, Kayla Durkin. I feel like that gets even more awkward every single time that I say it, but we're rolling with the punches today. So today, week 4, we are going through the series and we are interviewing Asia from the Sassy Math Teacher. And she is talking all about engagement strategies that you can use in your classroom. And all of these engagement strategies are quick tips that literally take almost no effort to implement. So I know you are going to love them. Of course, I think you're here because you're loving the series as well. It would be absolutely amazing if you could just drop down below and leave us a review. I know it's kind of tricky to find out where to leave a review on Apple Podcasts, but it would mean the absolute world to me if you could. And with that, let's get in on these engagement tips with Asia. Hey, Asia, how are you?
Hey, Kayla, I'm great. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for being here. You just got done with a full day of teaching, it looks like.
I sure did, but I was fortunate because I had a counselor in here today, so I did no teaching.
That's okay. We got to take those little wins as we can. So, why don't you tell everyone just a little bit about you?
All right, hi everyone. My name is Asia Hines, and you can find me on on Instagram as the Sassy Teacher, and everywhere else is the Sassy Math Teacher. I teach 7th grade in Northern Virginia, right outside of Washington, D.C. This year I'm actually teaching science, but previously I taught 7th grade math and pre-algebra for 5 years, and I plan to go back to math next year. Science is fun, but I'm just not passionate about it.
Have they already released the position? Like, do you know you'll be? Oh, cool. You guys can't hear her, but I can see her shaking her
Oh,
head.
sorry.
Yes.
Yes.
This is Asia's first podcast. She's doing awesome already, but yeah. So you taught math for 5 years. You're teaching science now. I mean, your activities that you do online look super fun, but we have to go back to our passion area, right?
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
tell us, you have the cutest story. Tell us why you wanted to become a teacher.
All right. So I wanted to become a teacher because I honestly love school. So I wanted to be a teacher for as long as I can remember. And my teachers would give me their old textbooks and answer keys in elementary school so I could go home to teach. I actually had my little school set up in my basement with my teddy bears and my dog. I had like an easel and then just random textbooks and papers. And I remember I would like organize student papers in like manila envelopes. So I was always very organized. But basically, when I turned 9 for my 9th birthday, I asked for an overhead projector, which many of your listeners probably, I don't even know if they would know what that is.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they do. Why don't you share?
Okay, it's basically an old school version of a projector before we had fancy projectors and smart boards. It was this big thing that sat in the middle of the room with a light that basically just mirrored what you had onto the screen, but you had to use a transparency, which was just a clear plastic piece of paper,
Like a
clear,
thick piece of paper.
yeah,
Yep.
like a thick piece of paper that was clear. So yeah, I got one of those, and so then my teachers actually started giving me their old transparencies too. So yeah, and then I used to love shopping at the school box. So it was a whole thing. I was a total nerd. I looked forward to having homework just so I could have something to do with my students, with air quotes, each day. So
That
yeah,
is
and
seriously so fun. I don't know anyone who owned an overhead projector growing up so they could play school. So I love it. I absolutely love it. So, with your 6 years of teaching experience now, do you have any quick teacher tips you want to share with us right away?
yeah, my teacher tip that I like think of every day, and it kind of connects to what I'm talking about today, is basically if I don't get out of bed in the morning and I think, oh, I'm so excited for this lesson today, then that's one way that I know that my students probably won't enjoy it either. So I know when I have a good lesson, and granted, it's not every day that you have a good lesson, but it's just one thing to think about. So when you're planning, think, hey, will my kids actually enjoy this?
Right.
So
They need that buy-in too. If you're not excited about what you're doing, how are you possibly going to expect them to be engaged and excited at the same time? So I totally hear you on that one. And with that, you have some fun things that you run in your classroom while you're just managing day-to-day things, right? And
yes.
so you use a classroom ticket system, right?
Yes, I do. So with my ticket system, I give them out pretty sparingly. This school year has been a little different. I've been needing a little extra motivation for my students. So I've been handing them out a little more. But essentially, I have tickets, just like little raffle tickets. And if I catch a student helping a classmate, going out of their way to help me, doing something as simple as picking up a piece of paper off the floor that was not theirs and putting it in the recycling bin, finding a mistake that I make in a math problem, because that means they're paying attention, and basically, yeah, anything, catch them being good. If I notice they're working really hard on an assignment one day or anything spectacular, I'll give them a ticket. And then about 2 times per quarter, I have a ticket cash-in day. So on that day, they can purchase things with their tickets. So with one ticket, they can get candy or stickers. I have those water bottle stickers. With 2 tickets, I will send a positive email home, but I always tell them I can't lie. So if you've been a little monster this week, I can't. And then 3 tickets, they can choose a prize, which is mostly school supplies and some random like fidget spinner type things.
Mhm.
And then 15 tickets, which I know I'm kind of crazy for this, but I'll buy them lunch, which can be from like Chick-fil-A, Chipotle, anywhere close to the school and a
So
kid's meal.
I love that you bring that up because I saw that you posted the reel the other day about your ticket. So I assumed you were probably going to share about that. And it actually made me really sad. Those of you who are new to this podcast, I am not currently in the classroom. I'm an MTSS coordinator, but my last year in the classroom, I was doing similar to Asia, but I was doing Durkin Dollars. I called them since my last name's Durkin. And right before our day to cash in all of their tickets, I was letting all of my students choose where they wanted lunch from: McDonald's, Wendy's, all of the little restaurants that were close to us at the time. And so literally Monday was supposed to be our day where they could cash them in. And I am not kidding you. I had, because I was teaching like 100 and some kids, I had like 30 kids who were ready to cash in on lunch with their Durkin Dollars. And then they called off school for COVID for the rest of the year. And all of these kids were emailing me, what am I supposed to do with my Durkin Dollars? And so, long story short, really, really funny. I actually went and subbed with my old class because I just missed them and I wanted to see them. And they were still carrying around their Durkin Dollars in their binder, and they brought them to me while I subbed for their class. Like, so funny.
Oh my
So
God, I love that.
I know it's totally off task, but I love that you are doing that with your students. I think it's just a fun incentive for them. Plus, when you have lunch with your kids, you just get to see such a different side of them that you don't see in the classroom.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I actually had a kid today in lunch detention, unfortunately, but I was just talking with them and I learned so much.
And that's, I mean, yes, they're there because they did something wrong or didn't do their homework or whatever it is. But at the same time, it's just such a good opportunity to build up that relationship. And hopefully they don't come back to detention, even though they might want to, because sometimes it's fun.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so you're here today to talk about classroom engagement strategies. So tell us what you want to share.
Okay, so I'm basically going to be sharing just some quick tips that I do. I try to do with most of my lessons, as I see fit, and just some fun games that you can do since it's like getting close to the end of the year,
Mhm.
and it's a good time to do some math review. So, check it out.
Absolutely. Okay, so what's the first thing you want to share with us?
All right, for starters, at the beginning of a lesson, I love to do a hook. Hooks are something we talked about a lot in college, but never really saw it in action. But an easy way to hook your students into a lesson is with random video clips. One of my favorites is when I'm about to teach slope. You can find GoPro videos on YouTube. So I have a GoPro video of someone skiing. And it's kind of cool because at the end, it looks like he's like flying off of a cliff, but he's not. It's just really like they have parachutes actually. And so the kids are always like on the edge of their seat to see like, oh my God, where is he going? So that's one that I love to share. So any like random video clip, and then they have a lot of BuzzFeed style questions on YouTube videos. So like this week in science, we're doing genetics, but I just Googled like a dragon thing because we're doing something with dragons, and I found a little quiz, what kind of dragon are you? And it walks them through it, and I just got them in. So just Google like seemingly unrelated things that are related, and it'll get their attention.
I love that. I love the BuzzFeed quiz idea too. I actually haven't heard of that before. So for those of you who don't know, you go online, and I'm assuming this is how it works. They go through and kind of pick which ones they want to pick, and then it tells them what they are, right?
Yep.
Awesome.
So they do have videos that do that.
So that's so fun. So anyone who's listening, you'll definitely have to give that a try. But what else? What else do you have to share with us today?
Okay, so I love music, and I find that a lot of my students love music too. And that's actually one thing I start with at the beginning of the year when I do like my student interest survey, just to get to know them. I ask them what would be your theme song, or what's the song you love right now. And so I actually build playlists for each class period based on the songs that they give me. So I love playing music while they work, while they come in, while they leave. But in addition to that, with math, there are so many like really cheesy math songs on YouTube. One of my favorites for middle school math content is Colin Dodds. If you search him up, I believe he's an 8th grade teacher. And he just has like content videos for everything. And they're just really cheesy songs, but easy to catch on to. And they teach the kids, and they remember forever.
They do. Same side, add and keep, different side, subtract.
Exactly. There we go. Yeah.
They remember them forever. I love that. And the Spotify idea, that is such a good idea. I've never thought of asking them at the beginning of the year and creating the playlist for each of the classes. So that's super fun. So I know you planned on sharing that with the followers if they wanted to check it out, right?
Oh,
the
yes.
listeners, not the followers.
Right. So yes, you can find free Spotify playlists that I've put together. They aren't the ones that I have for each class period, but they're just general instrumental. One of my favorites is my classics playlist, but you can get to those by going to thesassymathteacher.com/Spotify.
Awesome. Definitely have to check that one out. And so then you have some activities that you want to share with us as well, right?
Yeah. So I'm really passionate about creating engaging lessons for my material, and giving kids opportunities to be creative, have some choice, because that's huge. And I love to get them moving, because they do complain that they're sitting all day long, with the exception mostly of gym class. And they love competition. Anything they can do where they can win a prize, that's a huge buy-in for them. But my focus today is going to be on movement activities and competition.
All right, let's hear it.
Yeah. So, and the first thing I'm going to share for movement is probably not new to you. Scavenger hunts are go-to. They're so easy to do, and you can pretty much turn anything into a scavenger hunt. If you even just have a basic worksheet, you can cut it up and put it around the room. It just won't be as self-checking that way. But I love the self-checking scavenger hunts where it's actually a loop.
Yes.
So they're looking for so they solve a problem, and then they look for the correct answer in the bottom half of their next problem. And I love this because the kids are engaged. I usually tell them where to start, just so it's nice and spread out. And I know a lot of teachers keep it in the classroom, but I actually do like to put it in the hallway. So I'll just, spread them out in the hallway so kids actually are around. You have to set those expectations to not distract or disrupt other classrooms. But it gets them moving, give them a clipboard, maybe let them work in partners. And so, yeah, I love that. And then I just get to kind of sit back and moderate and help.
And you get to see their thinking too. And so I actually use the hallway as well. I think it's genius to be able to get your kids spread out a little bit, especially if you have a lot of bodies in your small little classroom. For me, I had like 31 kids in my tiny little classroom. And so I would often hang half in the hallway and half in the classroom, just to kind of like keep them going where they need to go, but not all clustered in the same area. But it is so fun. And as you said, those self-checking ones are so helpful because then they're looking for a very specific answer when they're walking around, and it takes out like, well, I'm just going to rush through this and I don't even care if I don't have the right answers, and I'm just going to turn it in so I can be done.
Yep, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. And then another one you wanted to share, right?
Yeah, so the next one I want to share is prize bags. It's not really a real name. I actually had my students brainstorm names for it the last time we played, and they came up with like the super race or something, which is not supposed to be a race, but they did start racing and then they're running all over the place, which was not a good name for the game. So I'm going to keep it as prize bags. And so basically how it works is you just have like 5 of those, lunch bags. So the brown paper bags, you can find like a pack of 100 of them at Target.
Yeah.
For $1. So on each bag, you just list some prizes that are available and how many winners will be chosen from each. So one bag may be for candy, and I would say 2 winners. Another one could be for a pack of gum, 2 winners. Stickers, 1 winner. Just random prize ideas that you have. And so then what I do is put students in groups, and they'll have sets of questions, but I only give them 1 set of questions at a time. And so, I mean, you can have them work in groups or you can have them work alone. It's up to you. But anyways, they'll have a set of questions and they'll bring the questions up and I'll check them. If they're correct, then they'll put their slip in a bag. At the end of class, I will stop the class at about like 10 minutes before the class is over and actually choose the winners from the bag. But the way I love it because, especially with math, because you're checking them as they go, and so you can actually see their understanding and give them that immediate feedback, and then they're motivated to get it right and keep working. So they're focused and it's moving because they're getting up, coming to get it checked, and going back to sit down. And kids love incentive; they love it. So just knowing that they have a chance of winning is great, and they can put all of their papers in one bag. They can put them all in different bags. It's up to them. So
that's so fun. Did you come up with that or did you see that online?
No. I found that. I don't even remember where. I don't know. I think I saw it on Instagram a few years ago, maybe. But it could have been a blog. I don't remember exactly. Definitely can't take credit for it.
That's so fun though. So is there anything else, Asia, that you wanted to share with us? Did you have any other tips for us today?
Just one, get some feedback from your students, get to know what they like, and what their interests are, and think creatively. So like for me, whenever I have an idea, I try to write it down. So if there's like something I can incorporate into a lesson that has to do with their interests. For example, my kids right now are all really into Crocs, very into Crocs. And I haven't done anything with it yet, but I'm like, make a note that it will really work well for probability and statistics. Because I'm noticing like the different colors, and you'll just see like a swarm of students coming down the hallway, and it's like the whites, the yellows, just the colors they choose. So I'm thinking about having kids do something with that. But yeah, that's it. Get them moving, get them competing, and get feedback from them to know what they're into and what they'd like.
That's so fun. I'm a firm believer Croc life is the best life. I'm wearing a purple pair of Crocs right now as we speak. So, I mean, student interest is so huge. And then, like you said, like writing it down and figuring out how you can incorporate it later. I love the idea of finding something to do with probability and statistics, because those of you who maybe haven't dug into your state testing yet, probability and statistics almost always comes at the end of the school year, just like Asia's saying, it's coming up here soon. And typically speaking, that is the one that gets skipped over the most because people run out of time, things come up, whatever it is. And then you look at state testing data, or whatever kind of, maybe it's not state testing, whatever testing you're doing, and almost always probability and statistics has a very low score because people skip over it. So I love that you are already thinking ahead, figuring out how you can incorporate it into your lessons using your student interest. That is so much fun. So all of these tips today, Asia, have seriously been fantastic. And so if anyone wants to get tips from you regularly, how can they get these tips from you?
Yeah, so you can actually go to the following link, thesassymathteacher.com/engage, and you'll get subscribed, and I'll be sending you engagement tips right away.
Yeah, she has an awesome email list. She sends out things regularly. I'm just making this up, I guess, but I'm assuming you do. I don't think I'm on your email list, but I think you send things out regularly.
I do every week.
And then you also post awesome reels on Instagram. So just in case, why don't you share your Instagram handle again?
Sure. So it's at the Sassy Teacher. So no Instagram is the only place where there's no math in there. So just the Sassy Teacher.
And I don't know for sure or not, but are you on TikTok or anywhere they should follow you at all?
Yes. Look, follow me everywhere. So I'm on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. And then my website is thesassymathteacher.com. So
Awesome. And you do have something fun in the works that you're going to be sharing with your followers, don't you?
My course.
She's laughing. I hope you heard that. But yes,
yes,
she does have something she's sharing it now.
Yeah, so I'll be relaunching my course for teachers in June. So I actually teach teachers how to create classroom resources that are digital and printable. So you can keep an eye on that because it will be reopening for new members in June.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Asia, for being here today. Thank you for all of the fun tips and tricks that you shared with us. Of course, go give her a follow on Instagram, check out her TikTok, get on that email list. Make sure that you find her wherever she is. She's everywhere. She's doing awesome things.
Thank you, Kayla.
If you're still here, I just want to say thank you so much for being here. It means the world to me that you take time out of your day to listen to this podcast. We have 2 more weeks of this math series. Next week, we are interviewing Kristen Damon from Damon's Algebra Room, and she is sharing all about math games that you can use in the classroom. She has some really fun reels that you can check out, and I know this podcast episode is going to be one that you want to listen to. So with that, I will see you next week. We'll wrap up our series the week after that. Week 6 is going to be me. I will be wrapping things up, and then we're going to transition back into whatever life has in store for us on this podcast. If you like listening and you wish that you could hear from a certain person, or you wish that I would share about a specific topic, or you need tips or tricks or strategies or whatever it is on whatever it is, can you please do me a favor and come to my inbox on Instagram at North Dakota Teaching and just share with me, hey, I've been listening to the podcast for a while. It would be awesome if you would share an episode about whatever you think I need to share about. That helps me. Just like we want student interest, we want to know what our students want to know about. I want to know what you want to know about. So thank you so much for being here. We'll see you next week. I hope you have a fantastic day.